Now, China's economy is making headlines every day. Yesterday, we told you about the falling exports. Today, there is more bad news from China. The Chinese economy has slipped into deflation. What does that mean? Prices of consumer goods have fallen. Everything is getting cheaper. It may sound like good news, but it's not. Deflation is the opposite of inflation, and it translates into no economic growth. In other words, China's economy has tanked. The world is talking about it. But the people of China are not. They're wary. Officials are resorting to self-censorship. They're refusing meetings and watching their backs. They're afraid of inviting Xi Jinping's wrath. We'll tell you all about it, but first the numbers. Consumer prices have fallen in China. It's the first such fall in 3 years. Last month's consumer price index is out. It fell by 0.3% year on year, meaning it's 0.3% lesser than this time last year. In the month of June, there was no change. Prices did not move. In the month of July, we've seen a fall. Now, what is the consumer price index? It is a measure of inflation. It tells us how consumer goods are priced. And what kind of goods are these? The kind that we buy or use every day, stuff like food, clothing, transportation. Their prices are falling in China, and that's bad news for the Chinese economy. When an economy deflates, everyone suffers the consequences. Prices fall because people are buying less. And you know what happens when demand falls? It impacts production. Factories make fewer goods. This has a trickle-down effect on jobs. Low demand and low business leads to layoffs. Over a longer period of time, it hits investments and businesses. It leads to losses. And the Chinese economy is going down that road. What about the rest of the world? They won't be immune to what happens in China. Beijing's economic decline will affect everyone because China is a major economy. It is a major importer too. It's the world's largest marketplace for energy, for raw materials, and for food. Deflation in China will mean a drop in all these orders. The Chinese will import less, so countries that depend on China for business will feel the impact. They'll have to look for other buyers. And here's something else you should know. This did not happen out of the blue. China's deflation has been in the making for a while now. At the beginning of this year, they set a target. China wanted to keep inflation at 3%. But it has failed. Inflation has fallen into negative territory. The government tried giving some stimulus. They also slashed interest rates. They offered tax incentives to businesses. But there was no major relief package. Experts have repeatedly called for such a package, but Beijing has refused to go down that path, and that's problematic because China's economy is seriously sick. It is like a patient who needs surgery, but Beijing is only offering it Band-Aid. It won't work. So the question is, why are Chinese officials hesitating? It's hard to say because they're not talking. They seem to have gone incommunicado. Investors, bankers, business owners, economists, they've all tried to reach these officials. And these are people who regularly visit China. They hold frequent interactions with technocrats. But in recent weeks, they haven't been able to get in touch. Reports say invitations for coffee or dinner are being declined. If they do get a chance to meet, there is no frank exchange of opinions. Officials stick to templated talking points. Again, the question is why? And the answer is this. Chinese officials are under scrutiny. There is now a new anti-espionage law in China. It came into force in the month of June. Its provisions are vague by design, and the punishment is harsh, like life imprisonment, even execution in extreme cases. And this new law has sent Chinese technocrats into a shell. They won't speak. Beijing is going to great lengths to protect information. This year, China also rolled out an app. It is used to train government workers on how to keep a secret. All officials have to take this training. They have to spend 4 hours on the app. They also have assignments, essays, tests. There was a time when China's technocrats were celebrated. China had a reputation of running a professional bureaucracy, but today they're being treated like school kids. They're being made to take tests. And all of this has consequences, and they're showing. Foreign direct investment has fallen to a 25-year low. Foreign funds are not investing in Chinese stocks. The market is too unpredictable. China has lost growth momentum. More importantly, China has lost the trust of the world.